Alright, welcome back to the Rising Empires Weekly 26. We've got Nashulbar here in the orange Mongols on the south side of the map. The north side of the map, we've got Dragavan in the purple Abbasid trunks. There's an awful lot of sheep being picked up by our players here. There's for the taking, eh? It doesn't look like either player is opting for an early dock just yet. Oh, actually Nash will be. But Dragavan looks to be just doing Dragavan things. Going for land eco. Putting the house right next to the mining camp for whatever reason. Come on bro, put it right here. What are you doing? Oh, Nash is actually going for early barracks. I thought he was going to possibly go for a dock, but this way he gets to make sure that Dragavan can't go for a delayed dock. He either has one already, or that's it, he's cut off. And on top of that, you can potentially try and harass the gold and the stone, particularly against Abbasid. Be nice and useful, stop him for going for 2 or even 3 town centre early on. So a pair of spearmen will be heading their way over. Nash is still gathering a fair bit of wood, so I do wonder if that's what he's looking to go for behind. This is a dock, because he's starting to bank it up. He's only going for a pair of spearmen to start with. And he's managed to get the sheep and kill the scout of Dragavan, so early game for Dragavan. The nerves must be getting to him or something. Looks like Nash's Khan is going to keep travelling around to try and catch any more sheep that are left on the shoreline. And he's got his spears here to just make sure it can't be an early dock. So early military wing actually for Dragavan here, while Nash is going to go for a dock. Having a bit of a read of his opponent's base, just seeing what he does and doesn't have. So military wing, is that always on this side? And then market wings there, eco wings there, culture wings there, I believe. People that play as Abbasid more often than me would probably be able to tell you straight off the bat. A bit of Khan harass here. It's going to take a number of shots, 25 exactly in H1, to bring down a villager, but at the same time, Spear's just charging in. So slow the gathering down a little bit, take a bit more health off these guys. Dragavan. Gold gather is being picked off now too, in the midst of all this. It looks like Nash is going to try and wear out a building here, because if he can do so, it'll get him a little bit of resources back. There's a single archer and a pair of spears there, coming with that military wing. Well, Dragavan going to commit to more archers behind this. And Nashulbar producing another pair of spears. But I think he's going to want to try and get age 2 and go for a couple of boats and then add a stables or a range of his own here. In fact, being Mongols, he really doesn't even need age 2 to start the stables, but ideally he wants the horseman upgraded from early horseman to normal horseman. And so Nash able to just keep his opponent occupied over here. Khan fighting against the archer witches. I think ultimately a fairly even battle, but then the Khan can just back out and heal up. And on top of that, Nash has denied that dock for Dragavan. It looks like he's going to get the villager out of it. Does actually forget about his Khan, so a sigh of relief there for Dragavan, but you know, the Khan will ultimately respawn for free. It's just inconvenient losing him, but he's a hero scout, so that's the advantage he's got over all the other scouts. You never actually truly lose him and have to, you know, build him to replace him. A couple of worker kills here by Nushelbar as well, and he's already got that fishing eco going, so this will be great for him. Be able to boom up quite a bit. Getting his deer stones now. Bringing the spears back to try and clean up the two that are taking down his dock. He's going to add a second dock actually. A bit more central and even over towards his opponent's side of the water just to keep tabs on things. Nush repelling Dragavan for the time being, but there is an archer in tow. More on production, double range here for Dragavan. Also could be able to scare the spears back to the home base. Nush not panicking and not lifting the barracks too early there. Oh, this is a very early ram here for Dragavan. This is nice. Being Abbasid, he doesn't actually have to get siege engineering to be able to build rams. He will need siege engineering to build... oh no, he will just need castle age, sorry. For those? He hasn't got a blacksmith, so I can't actually remember off the top of my head. And I can't just check it out to, you know, confirm my suspicions. A good number of bows here for Dragavan. But Nush going to add a stables. The junk, probably not going to be enough to deal with the ram. But it is 240 resources. I think the ram's 250. Yeah, so the ram's still a slightly bigger investment. And on top of that, Nush is just going to try and fish over here. He's already got his spears there to keep that all defended. Dragavan harassing that barracks now, but it's going to retreat to safety. So right now he's just got double archer production. With the defensive tower, it should be quite difficult to push in. Particularly once Arrow Slits finishes, it increases the range and gives it a base attack. Not just the 6 damage that comes from having 5 villagers in it. The spears being repelled now. Another pair. Just keeping an eye on things over here, which is a good idea for Nush. I mean, obviously it leaves him 2 spears short on the map, but at the same time, keeps him out of the way of the archers unless Dragavan wants to bring them all the way back. And it also prevents him from getting, you know, a single villager down there to build the dock. It's a bit of a harass here by Dragavan, but he's not successful in picking off one of the vills. And he will actually lose one of those archers in the meanwhile as well. That's just going to try and focus down this ram, even bringing some villagers here to make sure it does go down. A bunch of archers will spawn out of it, but straight away the towers retask onto the archers rather than the ram. Villagers still focusing that down. Or the melee and the tower should be enough to hold. Well, there is horsemen being produced now. Nush a bit slow to actually introduce that second one to the fight, but now that he's got them, it should be a nice front line for him to have. He can possibly get some of his own archers or just double down on horsemen. So we are going to see horseman production here by Dragavan. So Nush really just needs to unpack the barracks. That light junk going to kill a spearman with ease. Nush. You in a pretty good spot economically overall. I think he's lost a couple of villages. Oh no, he hasn't lost any villages. He's just had to not produce any for a little bit there, I think. He's actually got quite a number of boats over Dragavan. I think when he pulled villages, he must have pulled slightly more than he realized, and left himself a little bit short on the food, because he's only up by 3 villager pop in spite of not losing any villagers and having 7 fishing ships at this point. He has actually killed 3 of Dragavan's villagers, so Nush is gonna have to eject from that gold mine for the moment. Oh, and this is a bit crafty. He's gonna have double horseman production here soon. In fact, he can go for it. He's got a bit of food in the bank too. Might just be deciding between that or Castle Age at the moment. So this is a nice catch actually. A bunch of horsemen picking off, reinforcing archers. So he's going to get all them for free. Just focus down even more archers, because he can start getting his own spears. And once he, really thins out that critical mass of the archers, it also makes them less deadly against horsemen, because they're no longer 1 or 2 shotting them with a big barrage. Khan falling again. Nush is not afraid to lose it. This will be a nice trade overall for Nush here too. 4 versus 2. Dragavan's got an exposed hunt here, so that's the next port of call here by Nush. He's going to start working away at some of these villages. Dragavan. There's bowman mass here, but he's not really got anywhere to try and harass with, except if he comes over here. So Nush widening that Vil lead a little bit. They sort of misrallied there, so they ended up being good for Dragavan. He comes out of that a horseman ahead. Another ram here for Dragavan, and Nush needs to try and get that spearman over onto it. It's been nice for Dragavan destroying that second. Well, really it's the third dock, because it's a replacement of the first. But Nush still has a villager out here to try and replace that dock, and another dock out already, so it's not actually going to cut his food gathering. We've got archers here for Dragavan as well. Nush has not really gathered any more gold and just put it all into armory techs now. There's plenty of food, just needs to really bump up his wood gathering and even throw down another production facility, and he's right to push out with a lot of cavalry in range now. And considering Dragavan hasn't really been producing a lot of horsemen, he's got some. He's mostly just been producing these archers. Nush is starting to slightly pull ahead in the army count here. Though he is losing a bit to the raids. The fact that he's got horsemen and his archers working together here makes it quite tough for Dragavan. The spear's sort of being sacrificed here in a way, because there is, horsemen on the map, and Nush knows about it because he's lost his own horsemen to them. Now he's going to abstain from losing any more of these spears. He just wants to make sure he's got enough to, be effective against a horseman. He's big brain leaving them out of the fight there for whatever reason. That single spear going to get picked off as well by Dragavan. He's aware he can't just give his opponent a bit of a free read of what he's still producing and of his base, but at the same time, everything coming over this way to collapse on it. Sort of been a bit of a bait in a way, and now Nush is going to deny a lot of food gathering here and even get a couple of villager kills. Actually wrapping around to try and hit the wood line as well. And unlike the Mongol player, the Abbasid player is not able to just park his town center there and prevent this from going on. So he hasn't actually preempted this and gone for any towers to defend either. So this is rough for Dragavan, and there, GG. Looks like Nashalbar is going through the grand final.